Hey everybody, Mah-Dry-Bread here, and welcome back to some more Haven, the new version of Haven and Hearth. Oh, it feels good to be back again. So, January rolled around, a new world was made, and I got back into the game after, how long has it been? Like a year? I used to have 2 playthroughs of this game, both before and after the huge 3D update, when Haven and Hearth became Hafen. And people seem to really like it, and then a bunch of things happened in my personal life with financial issues, and everything kind of fell by the wayside, and I finally have time to get back into the game again. You'll notice I have a nice new overlay up here and everything to, pretty things up a little so you not see my taskbar and everything. And for the sake of protecting myself, you don't see the minimap down there, because I got burned by that before. You've got my nice little logo there. Anyway, this first episode, I'm gonna show you some of the new stuff. I'm gonna show you the village I've been working on. It's gonna be great. So let's just leave our house there. It's a very crowded house. And here we have our little village. So this hasn't just been myself working on this. We've also had Prelux over here. You can see our hearthfire there, as well as eating all the mushrooms. Metalizer's hearthfire's over there. He logged on once, but I'm sure he'll play more in the future. But for about 2 weeks into the game, we're not doing too bad so far. You can see over here we have, now, if you're wondering why this area is so crowded, by the way, this was the original claim. In fact, if we open up our personal claim here, this is my personal claim here. We expanded out to make some farmland up here. If we walk over this direction, we have some farmland up here, and I actually need to fix up that wall a little bit. Looks like it's decaying, because again, we do not officially have a village. And just yesterday, I finished the wall, expanding into this part. Alright, so I'm going to go kind of one by one here, showing you everything. So this series, I'm going to be teaching you the game. For anyone who's new to it, I'm going to be showing off the new stuff for people who used to play Legacy, as it's now called. All kinds of stuff. So, first thing we got to do today, though, of course, the leather tanning. We've got drying hides, we have tanning leathers, and we're drying some wild windsown weeds for some seeds. Now, we already have lettuce seeds, but at least it's good quality. Squirrel hide, all right. Badger hide, good, because I can make badger vests, which is armor. So there are also all kinds of new mechanics in the game now that I haven't gotten to show off yet, because when I used to play, it wasn't in the game. Like gilding! Let's open up our equipment here. So, if my game looks a little different from yours, I'm using the Ender client. It's a free client you can download. Some people prefer Amber. I prefer Ender. One of the main reasons being, you're able to see what stage plants are at that you're growing. Really useful. Oh, and by the way, if you notice there's a big hole in the wall, it's just draw distance. If I walk over there, the wall will fill in. Anyway, we can see here that Nettle Shirt, for instance, it is gildable, and it has a gilding on it, which is a leather patch giving me exploration and survival. That's a new mechanic. So it says gildable in blue there because I can actually put another one on. But basically, anything that's gildable, I can put in a gildable item on, which is something you find or something you make that gives stat bonuses, and it'll apply those stat bonuses to it. And there's a % chance you'll have extra gilding slots. It's especially high chance if the type of equipment you have and the type of gilding you have match in some way. So if we open up our stats here, we'll see that my survival is 22 with a bonus of 22. Now my bonus over here is actually 23, but you can only have a bonus that is equal to your base stats. So I would need to spend 23 points in this to get up to the full bonus, and same with exploration, which I'm actually getting the full one out of that because my base is 30. But same thing as before, you gain your LP to buy all your moves and get all your abilities up through studying and everything. My previous playthrough will teach you more about that stuff, and I want to go more into depth on that later. I'm probably going to have a series coinciding with this where I kind of teach you how to start from the beginning in Haven Hearth. Free game, by the way, if anyone wants to go download this and play it. So let's just check our stuff here. This episode is oh, did this just finish? Nice. This episode is going to be mostly showing you what I've got, whereas the other series is mostly going to be teaching you how to play, but there's going to be some educational stuff in this. Not that I'm a pro or anything, there are a lot of people better than me, but still. Alright, so none of the leathers were ready, but I was able to dump a few more leathers in the thing. You'll notice that I have in a pen here a wild sheep. I'm in the process of taming him. It takes a few real-world days. I'm probably one cycle of taming away from finishing taming the thing, so I'll likely have it tomorrow. I got a rope there. I have a bunch of, what's it called? I have a bunch of barley growing there as well. We have our oven where I cook food. You can see I have a bunch of donuts that aren't cooked yet. Actually, you know what? Let's get that cooking. And take 6. So you might notice that the game is a little bit stuttery. The game does run in Java. You get the occasional little weirdness. Nothing I can really do about it. Part of it is just how the connection to the server is that day. Okay, so what I did there is I put 4 branches in here. And now I am going to light a stick and then light the ones fueling the oven. 4 sticks is enough to cook anything I've ever cooked in an oven. So this should be plenty. Although it takes up about half your stamina to do this, which is annoying because there's a chance this torch will just burn out. All right, come on, firebrand. Of course it just burnt out. All right, come on. Give me a little bit of luck. Don't burn out. Fucking hell. All right, I'm gonna go do this again. This is what everyone tuned in for. Everyone asked me to bring this playthrough back, and I've been wanting to, but like, it is not a spectator sport. All right, we lit another one, come on. Oh, thank God, finally. Oh yeah, by the way, I could have dropped my firebrand in my inventory to make a very small amount of ash, but if you want to get ashes, just take bones of decent quality, throw them in your... Oh, I forgot I had this. Throw them in your kiln and burn it. And then you'll get bone ash, which you can then right-click on to crumble into a very large pile of ash. It's much more efficient. So, you already know that I'm tending to that sheep, trying to get it to domesticate. And I also have rabbits here. I have a rabbit hutch, which is new. So I got some baby rabbits, I have some adult rabbits. I think I only need 1 rabbit buck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I only need 1 rabbit buck. I should probably kill this rabbit buck so it's not eating food. We have 2 rabbit does. We also have our chicken coop, which you probably remember from the old version of the game. That's going decently. Again, we're only like 2 weeks in. We have a tar kiln up there to get us some tar and some charcoal. We have a smelting thing over there, although we have not gotten lucky enough to get any iron yet. I found a little bit of iron ore, but all of it turned to stone. So we got a little unlucky. And you may notice I am Mah-Dry-Bread Jr., which is why if we click on this, here lies Mah-Dry-Bread. I died in the most embarrassingly dumb way, too. I'm really mad at myself for it. I was out exploring. I had fought a lot of ants and stuff, so my heart health was low because they pierce armor. I was trying to learn some combat moves, and then I fed a clover to a wild cow. I believe they're called Antarok or something. And I milked it, and then I plucked one of its hairs. And I thought that if you pluck one of its hairs after feeding it a clover, it never attacks you. Turns out it does attack you, so it knocked me out, so I got very low heart health. I'm like, okay, I'll wake back up and be fine. I wake up, immediately fall down again. Huh, why did that happen? Oh, I walked through a swamp earlier and forgot to take the leeches off. So, the leeches continually knocked me down until I died. It was a pretty horrible, embarrassing death. It sent me back about a couple days of progress, but I was able to retrieve the entire body and bury it, so I got most of my LP back. I got about 60% of it back, and it let me rework my my attributes, actually, because my base attributes, like, you get it from eating. You might remember from the previous playthrough, and they were really out of whack. My constitution was like 12, and I didn't have any good constitution food. Now constitution is my best thing. It's at 40. You'll notice my agility is really bad, as well as my strength right now. It's because I'm dealing with some wounds right now, and I do have a few wounds treated with poultices because they were deep cuts that don't heal on their own. Unfortunately, having poultice-treated wounds does mean that you have less strength and agility, and you'll notice I'm missing 11 agility. Part of that is the wound treatment. Part of that is also that I just have some gear on that lowers my agility. Agility is a combat stat, makes you act faster in combat, makes your opponent slower in combat, and also I believe makes you take less damage from ranged attacks, something along those lines. Strength's down a little bit, is exactly what you'd expect, it's how hard you hit in combat, as well as helps you in mining. But you can see here I have my refinery there for smelting, basically. It's for melting down ore, I find, try and get some metal out of it so I can work with it. Haven't gotten lucky enough to actually successfully smelt any metal yet, which is unfortunate. Also, we have some stone tables I've been working on with stone chairs. I'm going to fill out the tables more. Right now, our best eatery is inside the house, but it's outside the bonfire, so we can have feasts here, which means that we can eat more food, which is great. You can see our crops here. I have these numbers because of my client, my Ender client, so I know when they're complete. So this has, for instance, this is hemp over here. It has 4 stages, and all these are in stage 2 right now. Stage 3 is a very short stage where you can pick the buds, which you can smoke like weed. Stage 4 is instead where you get the plant fiber to make rope and whatever else you need to make. We have a beehive here, so we have some honey production going. We have some carrots already grown, but I kind of want to wait until the whole thing is grown just so that it's less of a pain in the ass having to harvest it multiple times a day. Compost bin, which is new, I can show this off. Compost bin is now how you get high-quality soil for tree planting. You plant or you dump organic matter in here to decompose. It'll make mulch, and you can also dump earthworms in here to make mulch faster. So that's how you get high-quality soil now, which I think is super cool. My Ender client tells me that this wall is damaged a little bit. It just decays over time. So we're going to have to go get a block of wood to deal with that. Do I still have that stockpile? I do. I have a stockpile over here. This house, there's nothing eventful in it. It's just a few cupboards where I keep my seeds and stuff. Actually, you know what? I'll have to show that off to you because I want to go dump off these lettuce seeds. We also have some hemp over there in the corner. So, just dump the seeds in there and get out. I use hotkeys a lot in this game. In the tutorial series I'm going to do, I'm going to explain that more, like what the hotkeys are as I go for new players. So I just repaired that wall with that wood block. Wood blocks are extremely easy to come by. It's literally just chop down a tree, cut a block of wood out of the tree trunk. You can see we have a lot of spare wood here from putting up the wall. And we have a boat over here for when we go boating. We can see on our minimap here that there's a boar outside the wall. Now, you'll notice, by the way, experienced players are going to notice, this is a death trap. I have this big open unpaved area. I haven't had time to pave it yet with stone. I'm just asking for it, though, because, like, a bear is totally going to spawn in here. This is open grassland. Animals can spawn. I've gotten lucky. I've gotten some foxes to spawn in here, which is very nice, because then they're already trapped and really easy to kill. They're not going to run away. But it's only a matter of time before a bear spawns in here. I'm a dumbass and don't notice, and it mauls me, and then I got to spend a day healing when I could be mining or something. So, we're going to leave the village. Now, I could, if I wanted to, open my map right now, and I have a huge filled out map. But if I do that, there's gonna be one asshole out there who's like, it's really cool that this series is back. However, I'm gonna be that guy who finds him and destroys his house and kills him. And camps his base, because a lot of people tried to do that in my previous series. So what I'm gonna do is not show you my map. Right, I like how I pointed earlier, like, oh, you can see a boar's on my map. No, you can't see here. In fact, you can't even, if my cursor goes back here, you can't even see it. Right, because I overlaid that. I'm an idiot. So all you need to know is that there was a boar on the map, but I walked away from it because I have beaten some boars. I've got good unarmed combat here of 50. And I have a lot of combat moves here. I've actually learned quite a few. However, yeah, fighting a boar right now, it's not like 100% safe, I'm for sure gonna win kind of thing. I haven't quite figured out the tactics to fighting a boar successfully. One way is, I know left hooks are a good idea with boars. Because, and I will teach you combat, by the way, because people often have trouble with combat. In fact, I had a lot of trouble with combat when I was first learning. I've got the hang of it now, but I'm definitely no pro. Oh, by the way, you notice I'm walking faster. I right-clicked on a rabbit I want to catch, and because I'm wearing rabbit slippers, I actually walk faster when trying to catch rabbits. It's really useful. It's why I'm wearing them. So we're going to start sprinting here. Rabbits all run at different speeds. I'm slightly faster than this one, but no, he ran me into a stump. I'm going to give up on him. I don't care. Right. I'm walking towards something specific. There's a bear on my map, but it's not close to me. I'm walking towards something specific. You'll see it soon. But we do have high exploration because of all of our bonuses and everything. So I'm seeing a lot of things like there's rust root over here. I can use that to make rust root extract. Oh, there's a spindly taproot. Let's go grab that. It's right here. Rust root extract, which lets us prospect to try and find better kinds of metal. We are producing everything we need to make a mine hole, actually, if we want to make our own kind of cave type thing. And we're actually going pretty close to another person's home right now. They seem friendly. I've not really talked to them or anything, but we've walked past each other. Clearly, neither of us were aggressive, so I think my neighbors are pretty friendly. I've got a few neighbors around here, actually. There's a boar up there. All right, we're walking towards something specific, though, because I want to show you the first pro tip you need to know if you played Legacy, but you haven't played this yet. There's a badger up there. We can pretty consistently beat badgers. I'm not worried about that. However, badgers are so fast at running that I'm not going to be able to catch them. Like, I'm going to have to really run after him to catch him, and I don't have a bow on me. Or else what I could do is beat him until he starts to run away, let him run a little bit, and then when he's kind of forgotten where I am, I'll sneak up and shoot him with an arrow to finish him off. It's better than pursuing him forever. Okay, so we were going towards this clay pit here, so I can go in a cave. Hey, got experience for spelunking, because I haven't been in a cave in a while. All right, so I don't have any rust. Actually, no, I could make. Oh no, I can't make rust root extract on me right now because I don't have a container to put it in. That's right. So we're in a cave here. We can start mining on any of these walls if you want to. You don't need nearly as much strength as you used to. Notice I do have a almost 26 quality stone axe there, which is pretty good for this part of the game considering I just started my tree farm the other day. Okay, I don't know if that's safe. That's granite, I believe. So you'll notice someone put a stockpile right there. Common practice, you put a stone stockpile next to somewhere that you think is going to collapse. Because when you first mine out a wall, there's a chance that some dust will come down, and that'll tell you, hey, at least one of the tiles nearby is unstable, and if you mine it out, you're going to have a cave in. And I am passably armored up for this part in the game. You can see here that I have... actually, I'm not wearing my armor, my leather armor, and I should be. I'm stupid and forgot. I have leather pants. I have my bat wing cape. And I have my badger hide vest. So I've actually got quite light armor on. You'll see here, there is actually a cave in here. This is the kind of stone you find if there was a cave in. So someone got bashed in there. I don't see a skeleton, so it looks like they didn't die. I recommend you don't go mining until you have above 120 health. That seems to be how much damage a cave-in tends to do with no armor. So, and there'll be a lot of... Okay, so, this is what I was looking for. I was gonna say, there's gonna be a lot of hard health damage, so you gotta be careful. So, these are bats. They're very easy to kill in a cave if you maneuver well. So you can sprint full tilt in a cave, as you can see up there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set to attack one so he comes after me. For a punch. Move around him so that when he tries to fly away, I'm setting myself back to sprint. When he tries to fly away, he's flying away from his buddies. So I'm throwing some punches here. He's just trying to get me off balance here. So I'm going to regain composure, which is the 4 key down here. This is my defensive move that gives me green. He's doing an offensive move against my green, giving me an opening on green. I will explain this in way better detail later. I'll throw a low blow just so I can get some initiative. I want to finish him off with a chop. I think I can finish him here. Nah, I did 20. Oh, shit, he actually got me stuck there, so I'm gonna have to blow through a lot of stamina to chase him here. But again, his pathfinding's really bad. There we go. I got one watch its moves added to my combat deck, so I'm gonna pick up the body there. And I don't think I had watch its moves. Let me check. So whenever you kill a new animal, there's a chance that you'll get a move. Okay, so I didn't have that move before. Nice. I killed a lot of bats, but I haven't gotten that move. Reduces the backhand by 15, cooldown to 45, which is kind of big. Watch its moves gains you 1 point of initiative against your opponent. I like that more than I think I like low blow in my current move setup. So I'm no pro at the fighting or anything. However, I'm learning it decently fast. I'm feeling pretty comfortable with the fights I'm doing against just weak animals. So this is my combat deck here. Low blow is one I've had in there just to gain an initiative point so I can use chop, which is where I take a swing with my axe. My problem here is it's a backhanded attack type, and I don't have any moves. I haven't been doing moves that give them an opening on backhanded. So the low blow never hits, but it does give a small opening on off balance, and it gives me, even if I miss, a point of initiative. Point of initiative you can spend on bigger moves. So I think I kind of want to take low blow out of the deck and replace it with watch its moves. We'll save that. Because the cooldown is very slightly shorter. It reduces backhand against me, so if someone's trying to get a blue opening on me, so a backhanded opening, which I believe is called Dizzy, then I could reduce that a little bit so they have less of an opening, they're doing less damage, missing more. Because if you have no opening, you're dodging. And I could get initiative through that as well. So that might work. So you'll notice there, yeah, I killed a bat, I got the body. Bats are very easy to kill early in the game. I consider them easier to kill than ants even, because ants have a lot of armor piercing. You're likely to get hurt. It's not serious damage or anything, but I consider bats to be a lot easier to fight, but you need to fight them in a cave, because if you're fighting them outside, they're just gonna fly faster than you can get them. Although, if you have decent marksmanship and you have a good arrow and a good bow, sneak up close to them, and you can probably kill them with one arrow. So let's get a point of initiative here. I'll throw one more punch and chop him. Come on. Oh, that made him run, but it didn't kill him. He backed into a corner. Got him. So yeah, this is a fight you can do very early in the game. It's very safe and easy. Bats are not very dangerous. In fact, there's some more over there. I got actually really lucky and a lot of bats spawned. Normally that's something you're annoyed about because you're just in here to mine and it's like, oh god, bats in the way. Quenching for thirst, got more experience, nice. Experience can now be used to cast hearth magic spells down here. None of them are super useful for what I'm doing right now, so I'm going to dedicate an episode later to hearth magic. You can spend experience on that. You can see I got experience there. But I'd rather just keep it for studying things, because whenever you study something, it costs some experience. All right, walk around him. So you'll notice my maneuver here, which is my stance, is Oak Stance. Oak Stance is a very defensive stance. From what I'm reading on the official forum right now, it's very popular in PvP to go unarmed and just neglect melee attack, which is using a weapon. Okay, wow, I can just keep punching this thing and it never gets through my armor. That's good to know. So I've gotten tough enough that this guy really can't do anything. I got another point in low blow. So low blow is a little bit more worth it than it used to be. Just organizing my inventory a little bit there. I have a leather backpack on, so I can hold a decent amount of inventory. Leather's reasonably easy to get. So these bats, why are they so good to kill? Well, first of all, they give you a lot of combat moves. So, it'll really advance you in what you're able to do in a fight. It's a great way to build up a lot of combat moves, to give you some variety in how you fight that you can use to take on those bigger enemies. So that's one big advantage. Another is they drop wings, which are great to research. I'm not studying any right now, am I? No, I wish I could show you. But the patch that came out yesterday at the time of recording this actually made it so that you can now hover over things. It'll tell you the study time, how many points you get, the mental weight, the experience cost. It didn't used to tell you the study time, which is awesome. My Ender client has an option where you can make it so it shows you real world time rather than game time, which is what I have turned on. So I know a poppy flower takes 14.5 hours to study. While you're logged out, it's still studying though, of course. So we can fight 3 more bats up there. Let's bring one on us and I'll discuss what's going on here and why these are great while I fight. So why is it great to fight bats? A lot of combat moves. They're not very dangerous. You can wear very light and easy to make armor, and you'll be just fine. I'm just wearing some leather pants, a badger vest, which is very weak armor. It's just you can wear it under a chest piece of armor, so, you know. And it's guildable, too, so I put my leather patch on it, so it gives me a little bit of survival and a little bit of exploration. Survival's nice when you're killing things, because the quality of the animal is hard-capped. I got a Haymaker point, which I believe I already do have Haymaker, but we'll double check. These are all 15 quality, not the luckiest in the world. But if we check, right, combat school. Haymaker I don't think looked great, but again, I'm not great at reading these yet. So Haymaker goes against yellow. There's red, yellow, green, and blue. Red, yellow, green, blue. Yeah. Sorry. I was trying to make sure that I got all those right. Red, yellow, green, and blue. This one's a yellow one, which is sweeping, sends them reeling. So you can see a very long cooldown on the Haymaker. Attack weight is just based off unarmed. That's very common with unarmed, is that the attack weight of like how much damage you're doing, it's just like your unarmed basic and your strength. I don't know the math 100% on. It's possible I was a little bit off there. Basically, it gives you a decent opening on reeling. The grievous damage, which is like hard health damage, that's good in PvP if you really want to maim someone, is passable, and the damage is actually pretty high. I also have a sweep move here of a kick, which is weaker, has a very slightly shorter cooldown, but it also gives more of an opening in sweeping. Again, it doesn't look great to me. I mostly just throw the basic starting punch. 5 is the highest something can go, by the way. The punch is weak. It's 80% of your unarmed, so it's actually lower than your just regular unarmed. However, the cooldown is 30, which is very short. Grievage damage and damage is low, and it gives a decent opening in striking, which is off balance. So you can spam this move a lot and really build up a quick opening. It's why unarmed is popular, from what I'm reading online. It's why unarmed is so popular in PvP right now, because it's very easy to quickly build up an opening on someone. And a melee character, like a weapons user, has a very hard time dealing with those openings and causing their own openings. You'll notice I'm like spamming the punch button. Really, I could just like click it once every once in a while. So you're having some time to really look at this now. So I should be taking this opportunity to really explain here. This is my side of the tree. This is his. You can see I have an opening there. It's jittering around a lot because I'm sprinting after him. In fact, I'm sprinting very slowly after him because I ran out of stamina, or my stamina blew through to below half, which makes me slow down from sprinting to running. But we have another dead bat there. This is actually a really good haul. I'm really happy with this. We'll probably drink some water before we fight this last one, though. Is this the last one? Yeah. You know what? No, we don't need to drink any water. We'll be fine. Right, so we have my oak stance here. This I'll explain in better detail later because I don't need to be in this menu to explain it. So here's my opening of green, his opening of green. The worse your opening is, the more damage you're taking off moves of that color because you're able to defend yourself against them less. These are the moves he's using. These are the moves I'm using. These are the moves I can pick from, which I'm hitting keys on my keyboard to do. And we can't see what moves he has available. Here's my initiative points and his initiative points, which you build up by doing specific moves. God. Oh, wow. Is he going to lead me to another bat? No, he's dumb and hit a wall. At least I know where another bat is, because I can see him on my mini-map. What did I get there? Punch them both, I believe is what I got. Punch them both is for when you're surrounded. Not a great move, but it's so that you have something in that specific instance. Let's drink some water, because I got plenty of food back home to get my energy back up. And get this guy on us. The little numbers you see popping up down here, the red number is soft damage you've taken, so I'm dealing damage to this guy. He's hitting zeros on me, green zeros, which means that some damage got through, but my armor blocked it. You can see there, the yellow number is soft health. The red number is hard health. I'm only doing hard health damage to him because animals only have hard health. Oop, I got stuck there. That was dumb of me. There we go. So we've gotten 7 bats. We've gotten very lucky with our bat haul today. And I think I'm ready to actually back out of here. We're 30 minutes in this episode. I'm sure you want to see some more variety. So I'm going to AHH, which is Adventure, Hearth, and then Travel to Hearthfire. I believe that's what that stands for. So that teleports us all the way back home. So now I'm going to show you why these bats are so great. Because I feel like I started to explain it a few times, and then I'm stupid and stopped explaining it. So I'm going to right click here and I'm going to clean the bat first. So I'm going to strip it of all of its parts. So what do we get here? We got entrails, which we can use as fishing bait. We can also use it to make a great curiosity, which are things you study, under rituals. And we can make a Mirkwood offering. So Mirkwood offering is an entrail, a block of Mirkwood, and 2 seeds or trees or bushes. So berries, cones, anything like that. There's an abundance of them out there. 1 entrail, which you can get from butchering any animal, and 1 merkwood block. You see these like rotten tree stumps and logs you find all over the place? That's merkwood. Very easy to get, very easy to make these. The quality is based off your will, stealth, and your lore. That's what it's soft capped by, so they're things you don't tend to have a whole lot of. So the soft cap does tend to be low. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but you study them very quickly and they're worth a lot. In fact, I'm probably studying one right now. Merkwood Offering. Yeah, I'm studying one right now. It takes under 2 hours. It gets you a decent amount of learning point for something that studies so quick. The trade-off is it has a high experience cost, but as long as you're playing frequently and you're just walking around and doing stuff, the experience is hard to get, especially if you're at the point in the game where you're fighting a lot, because that does get you experience. I can also use the entrails for bait. There are a few things you can use it for. I could also throw it in the compost and get mulch out of it, which is nice. We have the cleaned bat. I'll show you more with that in a moment. We have bat wings. These are great to study. Takes just under 4 hours. Again, decent LP. You can find bats of much higher quality than 15. I just got unlucky. And again, high experience cost. And the mental weight's a little high for when you're first starting, but it doesn't take too long to get intellect up. Blueberries are the first forageable thing you find. I believe taproot is at the same level. And we have fresh bat hides. So let's just string one of those up to start drying it on our drying rack. We'll turn that into leather later. However, we can also go into clothing here. And is it under coats? Capes, cloaks, and robes. Bat wing. So the bat wing, it takes 4 bat hides, 2 bat wings. You only get 1 wing per bat, which is confusing. So basically, kill 4 bats, which is very easy. Get 2 string. You can find it out in the wild by the time you can kill a bat. And once you dry the hides, don't turn them into leather, and you can make a batwing, which I actually need to make a new batwing soon, because mine is almost busted. You can see here the wear on it. The wear's 44 out of 55, so it's going to break soon. It's gildable. So it's a light armor. Wears your cape. It's in your cape slot, which you don't tend to use very early in the game. It has a gilding chance, so you can actually gild this thing. It gives you very little armor, but hey, it's a slot you don't tend to use. And it's easy to get the stuff for and easy to replace if it breaks. So it's a great little item. It's, I believe, stealth-based in its gilding, so there isn't much early on that's great with that, so you don't have a high chance of getting a second slot. However, you could still put a leather patch or something on it, use the rest of your bat leather and your string to make leathers, and then make a leather patch, which gives you exploration and survival, which are great early game. Put that on your bat wing, and you've got a really good cape for early in the game, which is super cool. So you can already see the usefulness of this here, so we're going to just start butchering a bunch of these. I can hold down control and right-click to insta-butcher, because it's an Ender client thing. And again, these clients are not cheating or anything, it's allowed. Let's just dump all these entrails here. So now we can also clean the bat, so we butcher it. And that'll get us a bone, and will get us 1 raw meat of the bat. Do we have actually any... Oop, that was an accident. Do we have any meat already cooked of a bat so I can show you what it gives you? I think it's intellect and perception. I don't have any in the cupboard that is already cooked. Don't have any on the table that's already cooked. Okay, I believe you get intellect and perception, and if you cook it on a spit roast instead, like I'm able to take one of these cleaned bats and put it on the spit roast if I want to cook it over that. I'll get double the meat out of it. So instead of 1, I'll get 2. And it will give me, I want to say constitution or maybe strength as well as intellect and perception. No, it's agility, intellect, and perception if I do it on a spit roast. However, I don't get the bone doing that. And as you saw in there, I have a lot of bones. These are stacks of 40, and then I got like 30 something in there. However, you can, I don't know, I find uses for bones so commonly that I'm not sure I want to waste the bones, but you know what? Put it on there, it magically became a pig, and I'll roast that up later. It's very time-consuming to roast something over a spit roast. It takes, I think, 4 minutes of just turning it on a spit roast, although turning the spit roast does not cost stamina, weirdly enough, so after you light the fire, you can just wait for your stamina to come back while using the spit roast. But you can really see like why these bats are so valuable and why I consider this to be such a great addition to early game. So we're just gonna dump all of those hides on there. I held down Shift and Alt and then I clicked on it to get them to all move over like that. So we've butchered all of these. And there we go. We have all of that drawing now. This has been a good, productive episode. Can I actually study one of these? No, I don't have the mental weight for it right now. So before I sign off for the day, there's one more thing I want to show you. And don't worry, more episodes of this will come out often. I want at least an episode a week because I really am having fun since coming back to this game. Don't pull my bat wings in here. So what's this? This is a study desk. This is a new thing that is awesome. One of the best additions this game has ever had. A study desk, when you make one, you've got to be the one who makes it, to have ownership over it, is a desk where you can place study items on it, and whether you're offline or not, whenever one of your study items finishes, you finish your curiosity, you finish studying it, it will replace it with something from your desk. So you can just load this up with stuff, and don't worry about having to log in every hour to make sure, like, oh, am I efficiently studying? The study desk will take care of it for you. And it has a priority system where, like, I'm studying a feather trinket. If this feather trinket finishes studying, then no matter what it can pick from here that I have the attention for, if there's another feather trinket, it'll pick that. So you can see I have a lot of Mirkwood offerings, I have a lot of feather trinkets, it'll pick those first whenever these two finish. I have some poppies, so when this poppy finishes, it'll take another one. I have an odd tuber here, which kind of sucks, but it's only a mental weight of 2. I have some more odd tubers in here because I was digging a lot of land to level out land, so I have a lot of odd tubers, so it'll study those. I have the Itsy Bitsy's web and the Itsy Bitsy spider. I'm studying those. It'll replace those with, I have another web in there. I don't have another spider, so it'll replace that with whatever can fit. Probably a squirrel tail and a bat wing. Something like that. But anyway, I think that was a solid first episode. On the next episode of this playthrough, I'm likely going to be exploring a bunch, maybe showing you some hunting out in the wild, maybe boating around and showing you the world, what it has to offer now, all the cool new things you can find out in the world, like the Wolverines that were added yesterday at the time of recording this. Wolverines just got added. I haven't fought one yet, but apparently it's not as tough as a boar, and I have beaten boars, so... You know, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what kind of combat openings is going to get on me, but I can try and fight one, because I'm really curious to see what it's like fighting a Wolverine. And I'll also be starting my tutorial series on this soon. The first episode is I'm just going to start a fresh character and show you kind of how you spend the first hour of the game. So thank you so much everybody for watching this. If you want to see more of this, subscribe, like the video so it gets promoted. Leave me a comment because I read every comment I get and I'd love to hear what you think I should do next in this series. I have a Discord server in the description if you want to talk Haven and Hearth in the Haven and Hearth section of the Discord server. I have a playlist also in the description if you want to watch more of this series or more of the tutorial series when that comes out. And until next time, have a nice day.